Hello there guys, it's me Unstable Voltage and welcome to a brand new series. This time we are going to be playing Urban Empire. Got sent a key for this from the publisher a couple of days ago, which is Calypso. It's the same publisher that publishes the Tropico series of games, as well as a few others. Unfortunately, I didn't get the key very early. Quite a few people have had keys for this for a couple of weeks. I got mine literally on launch day. So I haven't really had time to play the game in advance and really sort of learn it and get to know it. So this is going to be a blind playthrough with the tutorial. Now, from what I've seen of the game and what I understand of the game, it's kind of a sort of city or town management game, but not too much in the vein of things like Sim City or City Skylines. It's probably closer to things like Transport Tycoon, because it's not just a case of having to accumulate funds in order to build things up. There's a certain amount of politics involved as well, because certain things require approval to do. So you have to make the right people happy in order to do that. Anyway, let's go ahead and start a new game. So we will do the campaign, I guess. Learn the game that way. So we get to choose a family. There are 4 different families that you can choose from. We've got the von Filzens. We have the San Ilias, we have the Kilgannons, and we have the... Now it says Ruskis, so it's probably Shuiskis? Shuskis, maybe. Who knows? Now they all have a bit of flavour text. The von Filzens are landed and gentry, aristocrats with a strong military tradition and hardline conservative stance. Their Grand Manor has steadfastly overlooked the same estate surrounded by their fields and forests since the 14th century, despite the land belonging to 3 different countries throughout the years. The von Filzens are traditionalists. They believe in social hierarchy and the people's need for stability in a changing world. Then we have the San Elias. San Elias patrons of inventors and innovators. San Elias believe in solving problems through technology, and technological innovation is rapid under their rule. They are known for their almost ravenous hunger for ideas and progress, and for their fierce disdain of established traditions and conservatism. Notorious risk-takers in both their personal and professional lives, they often seem aloof and alienated from the gritty reality needs of the people. The Kilgannons, a strong working-class family with a history in politics and the labour rights movement, they rose from grassroots community activists to major players of the city's political scene. Respected as heroes of the people, their dedication has made the family very popular with the... don't know that word. Proletariat. No idea what that is. Or proletariat. Their contributions to society are much appreciated, but this benevolence tends to lead to increased building prices. Okay, so more expensive buildings, faster technology, better stability, and the Shuiskis are Russian emigres. They pride themselves on being cultured, civilized patrons of the arts and theatre. On the surface, unassuming and even indifferent to politics, none of the rival families view them as much of a threat. And their awareness of their social obligations has them in good standing with the people too. With dabbling in politics relatively new to them, they have no particular experience in the field, but sometimes disruptive forces come from surprising sources. I've always liked tech. Let's go for the San Ilias. And then we get to pick a leader. Now, as far as I'm aware, because you can see here we've got Giuseppe San Ilias. If we went back and picked one of the other families... oh no, there are different ones for each. I was thinking, I almost thought it was the same ones that you could pick. But at the moment, we only seem to be able to pick the first person in every family. So we will go back and pick Giuseppe San Ilias. Giuseppe is the eldest of the Austrian Emperor's science advisor. While his father urged Giuseppe to follow in his footsteps, Giuseppe was more fascinated with architecture than natural sciences. He felt old, ornate buildings of the Empire were outdated and envisioned new architecture of functional spaces that focus on the needs of the people. So we are progressive. You believe in progress and new ideas. So -1 to security. Grammar school brain power +1. High school brain power +1. And vocational school brain power +1. I don't know what any of these particular traits do yet because I haven't played the game. Solitarian, you value privacy a lot more than other people's companies. So elderly social life is +2 and prestige cost is +2. and Emperor's nominee. You are nominated to your position by the Emperor himself and thus cannot be voted out. Okay. Well, we do have the tutorial enabled. So apparently we've got different places that we can start on. And we should probably just start on the first one, the Rimini of Swarelia. The game loves words that I can't pronounce. Located on the big plains of the Swelian coast, this location provides the new city plenty of room to grow. Covered in thick forest, the land offers new mare endless possibilities to develop the city into Swarelia's crown jewel. Okay, let's get in there and see what we can do. Despite the fact me turning the volume down to like 20%, the music still seems really loud on my end. I'll sort that out in post anyway, so it won't be quite as loud for you guys as it seems to be for me. Little bit of a loading time. I've got this on the hard drive, not the SSD. So that is actually quite simple. It's not a slow hard drive. It is a Seagate BarraCuda, a 7200 RPM drive, so it's fairly quick. If it takes much longer, I just have to edit the loading screen out. Obviously, normally you guys don't see the loading screens in a lot of games because I tend to load the game up before we go. So there's quite a lot of stuff on the interface. Welcome, Giuseppe. Kaiserschaffen. Welcome to office, Giuseppe San Elias. Your father, Giovanni, was scientific advisor to the court of the Austrian Empire, and the emperor wanted him to lead founding of a city. Kaiserschaffen. Unfortunately, he fell seriously ill, and as you were all too well known at court and had just graduated from the best university in Italy with excellent grades, the Emperor asked you to take your father's place. Okay. So, start with your career. You can minimise any advice I give you. Yep. To start with the basics, move the camera as you hold down the right mouse button and move the mouse, or use the WASD keys. Yep. Easy enough. You can rotate and tilt the camera with the middle mouse button, or use the Q and E keys and R and T to tilt. Well, I tend to use the mouse more than anything else, so yeah. Creating the first district. Alright, let's get started building our city. Cities are made up of smaller parts called districts. All residents, companies and municipal services reside within a district. Districts also have infrastructures and different zoning. These are the basic components from which you influence your city. So let's create your first district. So when I click on this down here, create district, draw an area. So we've got, so all of these dotted lines, the dotted lines represent the build area that we have. Well, it's quite large, isn't it? So we've got a lot of space, but we've only got one road. So obviously the district should connect to the road. That makes the most sense, right? So we will go and build over here. So we want to draw an area. So do we click on the road? We want it to actually go up to cross the road in some way, don't we? So, but we've got to go from the road. Let's do it from. It's going to be tricky to actually get that on. No road connection. District too large. District too small. How do we give it a road connection? Oh, we have to tilt the camera because maybe that's how we do it. There we go, that has a road connection. So, sure, that'll do. It has a road connection. Add a corner with right click. Ah, okay, and then we can sort of then drag that out. I'm with you, so we can snap that to the road. Fantastic, that makes a lot more sense. There we go. Confirm land plan. They can also change the grid, so you can the roads within the district are done automatically for you. So you can have basically more blocks or fewer blocks. We'll just go with the default one. Tells us how much it's going to cost. So we've got our money up here. Now you have two lots of money in this. This I do know. You have your own personal funds and you also have the city money. And I believe the reason for that is if you want to use the city's money for things, you actually have to get approval to do certain things. Whereas if you want to use your own money, you do not. It'd be nice if you could just drag that corner out a little. I'm just trying to avoid having sort of really weird shaped blocks. There we go. That seems much better, doesn't it? So let's go ahead and confirm the land plan. This is where you can with two ends. This game has been released. This is the release version of the game, so there's obviously a few little typos in there that need sorting out. This is where you can add services to the district. At the moment, there's only one service available, the City Hall. That's the heart of the city's decision-making, and it provides basic services needed by the citizens. Later in the game, you will not only have a wider variety of services to build, but also infrastructure, zoning options, and density choices for the districts. Click on the City Hall and place it in the district by clicking on the desired location. Okay. So, that's basically under the district overview then, or the place services button. So we want to select the City Hall. Add municipal services provide wheel of life values to the citizens within a certain radius. So, +2 to all of these things. I don't know exactly what they are. There's no running cost for the City Hall, at least not in the tutorial. So we can place this. I guess we should... Well, these are mixed areas. So green is residential, yellow is industrial. So it's fairly standard. It's what we see in a lot of these sort of games. And this area, blue, which I'd normally expect to be commercial. In fact, up there it does say commercial. So maybe it's commercial and residential or something like that. But let's go ahead and put the City Hall sort of roughly in the middle. Why not? Will it not let us put it in a mixed area? Not letting me put it down for some reason. Maybe it has to go in a residential area. Yeah, it has to go in a residential area for some reason. So let's go ahead and confirm the services. Summary of all buildings, infrastructure and zoning for the new district. So it's 60% residential, 10% well, I guess that's mixed, and 30% industry. One service, 2 infrastructure. It's got road capacity, it's got the cost, the running cost per month. Okay, proposed district. So you can now give your district a name of your choice, or keep the suggested one. Later, once you've established a city council, you can propose that this be paid from city money, but as this is your first district, you should use money the Emperor has given you, and therefore only use the personal funds option is available. So yeah, so we're going to be using money out of our own personal funds. It's quite expensive, it's going to use a fair bit of our money, but let's go ahead and do that. And we'll keep the name that it already has. Progress Cloud. This is basically the tech tree. This is where you can see all of the inventions. Researching inventions unlocks new municipal services, infrastructures, edicts, business areas, and gameplay features, etc. That's a bit fourth wall breaking right there, isn't it? Next to an invention's name, you can see its price in brain power. Inventions are not unlocked immediately, but are researched gradually over time. How much time the research takes depends on how much brain power your city is generating. Note that you can only research inventions that are connected. Click on an available invention. So the telegraph, thermodynamics, safety authorities, or gas infrastructure. They'll take the same amount of time. How about gas infrastructure? So this will give us gas lighting, street lights, chemicals. Thermodynamics gives us steam power, clothing stores, police stations. Safety authorities gives us clinics. Work Safety Act, banning prostitution, alcohol licensing. Telegraph gives us newspapers, church, and a shoe store. Do we want the police station, the railway station? I think we should go for the gas lighting. Let's go ahead and make a start with that. So, go back to the city screen, which I'm guessing is that button there. No, that's the advisor. Go back to the city... Oh, it's down there. There we go. There's the city screen. So, as the citizens are now settling in, we have some time to look at other things. First, let's learn how to change the time-lapse speed. For now, time is close to a standstill. Go ahead and unpause it. You can increase the speed of time with left click and decrease it with right click. Fair enough, so we're on sort of speed 1. So what's that we've got there? Something we can click? Oh, that just takes us to the City Hall. So we can see that we are starting to get buildings now. We can zoom in. See little horse and carriages going around everywhere. There's people walking around as well. Cool. We're getting some work done on the gas infrastructure. So this is Rainsford. This is our first and capital district. So we can see the city's population, 204 people. The game does have eras. So, you know, at the moment we're using horses and carriages and the buildings are going to look fairly sort of, you know, fairly old school. But as the game progresses, things will look more technologically advanced. Great. Now that some of the citizens have found a new home in your city, it's time to add some more services. As time passes, you'll need to improve, balance, and add more services to existing districts. You will also gain new options to help you do so. A much needed school is to be built, so let's get familiar with how to add services to existing districts. To get there, you need to click on the name in the banner at the top of the existing district. So, is that up here? Click on the name in the banner at the top of the existing district. Ah, so basically it's this bit, right. Click on Modify District. Services are at the heart of running a successful city. You'll notice that I've unlocked the view at the top of the screen that shows you how satisfied your citizens are on average with their basic needs. Citizen happiness affects how they vote and how well the economy does. The top panel lets you find the general view quickly, regardless of how many different districts your citizens have. Build a school by selecting it from the menu on the right. So, does it tell us what these different things actually mean? So, city happiness, city average social life, city average security, that's bad. City average physical environment, also bad. City average health is bad. City average personal growth is bad. City average fun is bad, and the budget balance is going down. So everyone's not too happy. But grammar school will give +4 to the growth. So we want the grammar school. Now obviously we can see that this has a limited reach. So there are two circles we can see, the green circle and the yellow circle. So I guess the green is the sort of higher influence area, and the yellow is slightly less. Let's go ahead and pop it down next to the City Hall there. There we go. And you also see here, these are the different sort of parties involved. So the National Cerulean Party is kind of in the middle, they don't care. Then you've got the Free Democratic Party. They still sort of approve. They're in the yellow, and well, and then you've got the Physiocratic Party that are over there to the left. Let's go ahead and confirm those services though, and propose the districts. Okay, so again, we need to use our personal funds here. So we don't have an awful lot left now as well. Resource windows. You can get more detailed information about any particular Wheel of Life value by clicking on it. This shows you how many sources you have for a particular Wheel of Life value as well as demand for it. Click on it now. So click on the Wheel of Life. So is this thing? This is supposed to be the Wheel of Life, is it? So one of the 6 basic needs each citizen has is social life. Citizens require a certain level of each need. The closer to the amount it gets to the level they require, the greater the satisfaction of that need is. Satisfaction is part of the overall happiness and influences how the citizen votes. Social life is increased by certain municipal services and some edicts that contribute to a citizen's social life. So already the happiness is sort of going up a little bit. It's not as bad as it was. Then we've got health. We've got fun. The fun's going up a little bit as well. Do we need to click on all of these? So, we're not too far behind. Well, we are on some. Yeah, we're a little bit behind the demand, so satisfaction is not great. So, I guess at the moment, we're just waiting for the tutorial to give us the next thing that we need to do. We've got a message log here as well. So, population's up to 617. That's not bad. Okay, it's time to raise more money for the city. The bottom left panel brings you to one of the game's main views. Even though you are the mayor, the most important decision maker in the city, you're not alone. You can't run around spending money and raising taxes at will. To get things done, you need the support of the city council, which can either approve or reject common proposals. As there is still much to learn, let's go ahead to the city council. Okay. So this is the City Council. Here you can change the tax rate, funding levels, propose different types of edicts, and of course affect political decision making. After most decisions you make, there will be a council vote, and you'll be wanting to influence how your fellow council members vote. Let's have a look at the parties to understand things better. So we go to the parties view. So this view lets you know everything you need to know about the different political parties. There are 2 particularly important things: goodwill, which is both an indicator of your relationship with the party and your political capital with them, and political compass, which dictates how they will vote on different issues. In principle, the left-wing parties tend to like higher taxation and support public services, whereas right-wing parties tend to lean towards low taxes at the expense of services provided for the citizens. Liberals and Conservatives have opposing views on society's traditions and freedoms, and let's see this in action by raising taxes. So we want to go into taxing, and we want to propose taxing, okay. And we want to raise the company taxation. So we'll raise this. And yeah, we can see that sort of swing changing of how people will be willing to vote. Let's go and propose that. So we can see that this party is against, this party approves, and this one's kind of could go overweight at the moment. So let's go and vote on modifying the taxes. So two things that are of importance here. The three numbers represent the individual council members and their opinions on the vote. Icons on the sidebar represent the party's opinion. The further towards of the extremes the icon is, the stronger the party's opinion is. The key thing is to realise the difference between the two. Last-minute appeals are less effective than those made early on, because some council members have already made up their minds and are thus harder to convince. Let's appeal to an opposing party to make sure that our tax raise goes through. So we want to appeal to parties. Choose an appeal method. So we can either plead, demand, or threaten. Well, let's go for pleading. So you want the physiocratic party to help you correct this vote. How do you ask for their help? Invite the party leader to dinner. Express your wish in a council meeting. Explain the importance of this vote in a newspaper. Let's invite the party leader to dinner. Asking for support. The dinner was pleasant and the party leader is now more well disposed towards your proposal. So that's given us +2 towards their vote and -1 to goodwill, because obviously that's the sort of capital that we're using for these votes. Still hasn't sort of pushed them all the way over, really. And now it wants us to go back to the city screen. While we wait for the city council, this is a good time to check out the data view. This is where you can get information you could possibly want. Remember to come back once the vote is ready. So we've got the city data here. So we've got different social groups as well. We've got different classes, and we can tell how many of each of them are within our city. And some of them have different needs on the Wheel of Life. Okay, interesting. And we've got various different buttons that we can look at as well. So we can sort by happiness. You can see our political support. We've only got the one district. Infrastructure, so we can basically sort of run down of our costing. But we've got city income for that as well. So we get quite a bit of tax from our industry. Business areas, again, broken down by class. State laws, which are all locked at the moment. That's the overall city info. Okay, well, I'm liking what I see so far. It's still early days, and there's a little bit more to do. We are still working through the tutorial. I'm sure once I sort of get more to grips with it, I will start to really get a feel for it. But I'm going to leave things there because we're over the 20-minute mark. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. I hope you have enjoyed this introductory video to Urban Empire. But I will be back on the next video, and we will be continuing this campaign. So thanks a lot for watching. I'll see you next time, and until then, goodbye for now.